want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. Stay on point, C2 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5 boy sale, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. I got all those things, nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze, leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Coach Amber, salute, Salawan Princess, salute, Key Alexandra, salute Princess, everybody that's in here so far, salute. I know I was a couple minutes late, trying to get everything together, but how's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Man, so it's official. It is official now, people. Looks like the rematch is at 147, which is kind of funny in its own way, because everybody think that the rematch is such a foregone conclusion. Everybody think Errol don't stand a chance at 147, but after pride comes the fall. After pride comes destruction. King Von 86, salute, King. See, I'm going to tell y'all something that's crazy, right? Karma is a real thing. I found out in my life that karma is really a real thing. And the same people that you pass on the way up will be the same people you pass on the way down as well. Now, Bud Crawford done one teach, salute, King. Now, see, look, people really realize. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like for me too, please. But yeah, hold on 1 second. Now, people forget. Just a year ago, Errol Spence did make weight. And yeah, he is, Coach Amber. He is an asshole. And you know something? A lot of times being an asshole comes back to bite people too. Like, everybody knows that Errol can't make this weight. Everybody's pushing Errol down and everything. But we do have to think this right here, Coach Amber. Just a year ago, Errol did make that weight versus Ugas. He made that weight against Ugas. And he came in there, he shook off the cobwebs, and he got he got active with it. You feel me? Now this training camp wasn't the best, I admit. And I'm gonna tell you like this: Blu-ray knows Earl's body. This is Blu-ray's profession. I feel like you should get with Blu-ray. You know, do your body the way you're supposed to, and if you come in a little bit overweight, that's okay. That's okay if you come in overweight. It's two ways I see this right here. I say the hell with it if you Earl and come in overweight and still get your lick back because Bud done went through the training camp and he's not gonna pull out the fight. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna pull out the fight this close to the fight date. All things salute King. And then I say, well, what if Spence go ahead and come in on weight and he wins? Do you know what that does if Earl comes in and wins? And everybody discount Earl Spence like he can't win. But one thing people got to realize, we did just see him last year beat Ugas at that weight. We know Earl just had a messed up training camp this time. And people does that. People have had bad training camps and bounced back. We've seen that in boxing. But you know, that's what I said, Coach Amber. Like, if Earl makes the weight, you know, Blu-ray said he could get Earl on weight. He said that. He said he could do it. And that's why I was thinking about just a year ago, he did make the Ugas weight, and he looked it good in the Ugas division. He looked it good. And see, Earl just had a fight 6 months ago. So his muscle memory won't have to. Shalom, Princess. The Chitlin distributor. Salute, bro. Ain't seen you in a minute. But this is what I was telling people to think about. He just had a fight less than 6 months ago. So, you know, his body is still, you know about this, Coach Amber, because you've done train. You know, he's a knock the cobwebs off is far to say, as bad as it was, he got back into the motion of cutting down the weight. You feel me, Coach Amber? He got back into the motion. Exactly, Coach Amber. He didn't focus this whole training camp. He didn't. And I didn't like him going to the other fights and everything when he should have been training and doing what he's supposed to do. And I don't like the fact that they say he had an injury as well and couldn't spar as well. It was a lot of shit I didn't like about that training camp. But one thing I do like, Bud, his arrogance and his feeling, he feels like he's the big dog. Earl has no shot, and he's fighting Earl for all the belts again. That's what people are not looking at. This is for undisputed again. So, yes, he doesn't count Earl, but he forgets. Before this fight, we thought this was a 50-50 fight. People forget, we thought this was a 50-50 fight. Earl had a bad night, and everybody knows that's not the right Earl, and that wasn't the right Terrence that night. We saw two anomalies. And if you don't admit that, then you just a lie. And then they don't used to be having a conversation with you. But that night, we seen two anomaly performances from both fighters. Now, they come back out, and we get that Earl Spence that fought Yadatus Ugas versus that Terrence Crawford that fought Sean Porter. That's going to be a completely different fight. That's going to be, and look, Earl done took Bud's lick. He knows what Bud got. Derek James is a hell of a teacher and a scholar. You telling me Derek James can't game plan for this? Quee, Shalom, Princess. Planet 619, salute, King. Salute. But 619, sometimes you just can't let something go. Sometimes if you don't work for so much and so long, how can you let that go? Salute 619. Hey, Teach. I don't care where they do the fight at. If Earl feel like he can make that weight and Earl feel like he can fight, then look, I don't even care. Planet 619, I understand what you're saying, but before that fight, everybody was talking Earl smashes Bud and everything. Let's not remember this. See, this is where people get me at. Before we seen this messed up performance, everybody was talking, well, a lot of people was talking Earl smashes Bud or 50-50 and stuff like this. Why not get to the same atmosphere we just had? Let's erase this last performance Spence had because it was an anomaly. You feel me? Earl wasn't the same. Earl had problems. You better believe that Earl's going to come back into this training camp with everything on the line. Earl is not going to be nowhere near the same person. I feel like Earl might come back looking like the Lamont Peterson Earl. And I really do believe that. Because this man has will and determination. Y'all forget, this is the same man who they said wouldn't box no more out of a car accident being thrown from a Ferrari. He wheeled himself back in that ring and fought and won belts after that. The same one with the retina surgery wheeled himself and won a belt after that. This is the same Earl Spence, 200 pounds at training camp, cuts weight just to fight. 12 rounds without strength and conditioning twice. Earl Spence's mind is overmattered. His mind is a very powerful thing. That's why I tell people boxing is 80% mental and only 40% physical. You know something, Planet 619, in life, yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you, bro. In life, it's good to have things in this ideal situation, right? And this is just a life lesson I'm about to give you. But sometimes life isn't fair. Most 90% of the time, life isn't fair. And 90% of the times, you're not going to get the ideal situations. And 90% of the times, you're going to have to take things as they come or not take it at all. So you're going to have to rise to the occasion and make yourself that much better so you can make it on a fair playing field. Because in life, nobody gives you a fair playing field to play on. You have to make the field fair. You have to juggle the cards in your own right. Like, ain't nobody trying to give you nothing. This man knows that he got Earl at a disadvantage. And it's this business of sport. Bud didn't never want to lose his O. Bud, he's petty and he's prideful, and that O is all he has. Earl is a personification of greatness because he didn't mind putting it on the line to get what he wants. And so he has an opponent who's playing games like he did before. So now Earl has to rise to the challenge and to the occasion. And if Earl gets in that ring and he beats Bud at 147, it makes it that much sweeter. Young world, Shalom King, I'm glad you back safe and sound, sir. Peace and blessings to you, young world. Peace and blessings, brother. But that's what people don't understand. And that's the difference between people that make it in life and people that just exist in this world. You can't be out here living and barely existing. You have to manifest and make what you want. You got to realize that ain't nothing given to you. Welcome my co-host to the stage, Key Alexandra. I'm glad you're here, Princess. How are you doing today?
Hey, Upper, I'm sorry. I've been every time you go on, and I only got a couple minutes, and I'm gonna hop back on once I wrap up with my client. But every time you go on in the daytime, I'm trying to find time to be able to tune in or I listen in the background. Did you get my Cash App yesterday?
Oh, I didn't even see it, Princess. Let me see.
Um, I had put that I was listening in the background, but I got a few moments, and then
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna hop.
appreciate that $5 cash app, Kia. I appreciate you. I appreciate.
No problem. I'm always
If
support
anybody send
you.
me a cash app, just let me know too, because I got a lot of stuff on my cash app. So it be a lot of other stuff on my cash app too, because I be having this gambling thing going down, and we be gambling and stuff. Like I used to have a casino thing, but now after my injuries and stuff, now people send money online to do other things for the gambling. So just let me know ahead of time. I appreciate you. Anybody that does it too.
No problem. Well, first of all, with my few moments that I have, and then once I'm wrap up with my client, I'm gonna hop back on. But first of all, I wanted to say, Upper, we have predicted the future now, and a lot of these people need to be paying you for stealing the content. So if you recall, about a month ago, right after the fight happened, you and I and another gentleman was on here discussing everything that happened, and we were the first ones that I could recall that said Errol needs to spar with a southpaw, and we and you both specifically mentioned Tank and Boots. Did we not?
Of course.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, we were discussing, moving forward for Bud about optics and perception. Do you remember that? What I made that point about that,
Yes, I do.
and
Yes,
I said Fame is a whole different type of monster. We're gonna see how Bud handle it moving forward. I feel like we kind of just predicted everything and pretty much put it out there, and now it's coming into fruition. And now that everybody is saying this, y'all need to pay my boy Upper his dues, period, because we cooked on this right after the fight happened, and now everybody is is speaking on this. But my stand still has not changed. The optics was but put a beating on our boy Errol. It's no secret. But now let's see moving forward. We'll handle this
Hold
new.
on one second. Hold on one second, please. TB Boss Road, what you mean a pot Spence fans giving him a bad name? Do you think he wants y'all out here capping like a bunch of divas? Seriously? Who's capping, bro? And who's like a diva? You sound like a bitter baby mom right there, but I dropped the link for you if you got something to say. Don't type me to death in this chat room because you just come up here disrespectful. Now, when people disrespectful, we can be disrespectful, but I try to give everybody respect. But if you want to hop up here and say your piece, you can. But don't come in here like a bitter baby mama with that projection. You acting just like Terrence Crawford, like a guy that's been raised by a female who can't control his emotions correctly. So he want to come out here lashing out at people. John Kramer, salute, King. Go ahead, Keith. The link's there, TB Boss Road. Ain't no about you, buddy.
So yeah, so basically how he would handle everything, and what we said in that live is pretty much coming into fruition, about the dangers of this newfound fame, and how he's doing moving forward. And what I would like to know from you before I hop off, and I'm gonna join you once I'm done, is how is this going to reflect on his how is his career going to, will it be negatively or positively impacted by him dismissing Earl at 147 or 154?
Okay, hold on one second. Okay, TB Boss Road, if you wasn't talking about me, then I'm a man to admit when I'm wrong. I apologize. But when you come in here, you said, do he think, he said, Spence fans are giving him a bad name, and do you think he wants y'all out here capping like a bunch of divas? And I'm the only one up here talking, bro. You gotta look at the perception of what you said and how you came in and said it. That's the first thing you said in the chat room about a bunch of divas talking, and I'm the only one talking. Now, if it wasn't to me, I apologize, and you still can hit the link and we can talk about it. But you got to look at the perception, the way you presented that out there to everything. PG Big Dog, salute King. Um, yeah, like I told y'all that night right there, King. A person shows you who they is. You feel what I'm saying? And when we seen when Bud started getting the limelight for the Spence fight about to produce, you see he started changing anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Because he felt like he was getting the shine that he deserved. But it pissed him off that he had to get his shine because of Earl Spence. You feel what I'm saying? That he couldn't create the buzz himself. He basically was like the moon while Earl was the sun. Yes, the moon shines bright, but it's reflecting the light that the sun pushes upon it. And see, I mean, that right there for a person as prideful as Bud, that hurts his pride right there. And now Bud was asked a year ago, would he ever fight Canelo? He said no, Canelo is too big. He would never go up to fight Canelo. But now that he hear that Earl was offered the Canelo fight, now he's trying to push for the Canelo fight, and people don't understand that.
Right, and
Hold
then
on 1 second.
okay.
Oh, there you go. I was trying to get my essentials in, but if any, I could find a video where he sat there and said Canelo's too big, but now he realized that he's done seen this PBC money. He's done seen that Earl was offered that fight. Now Bud wants to call out Canelo. Canelo said he's not a big enough draw for him to fight. And with the way that he's alienating the PBC and disrespecting them, he won't get that Canelo fight because Canelo signed to Al Haymon in the PBC. So if you're not trying to make good on your Earl fight, and this is what's so great about the world. And TJ, salute King. And this is what's so great about karma. Bud was put in a situation to be the man, and PBC was willing to run with it. They was willing to push it, promote him, and do all this other stuff and build the name that he never built in his whole years while he was just sitting back fighting mandatories, not building his name. But Bud let it get to his head. And you know what they say, don't fly too close to the sun because you might get burnt. A1 Hoop Zone, salute, King. Salute. But this is what I'm trying to say, right? Bud got the start of fame and he got the price of fame. But he let it go to his head instead of embracing it. And instead of, see, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. Bud is now the man with the belts. Bud he really can do his whatever he wants to a certain extent. To the fact that he's not the four kings of pay-per-view of boxing, but he's a second tier demigod when it comes to pay-per-view sales, basically. But he's squandering it and he's trying to project and push forth more than what he is. See, he's trying to catch something that he is not equipped to catch. You feel what I'm saying? He wants to be $100 million man when he hasn't even made the $50 million man spot. Basically, he wants to be Canelo. He wants to be in the position that Earl was in. Everybody talking about Earl and Canelo was a 2 million pay-per-view bar fight. And he thinks he generates that same, and you don't have the same fan base, you don't have the same dexterity, you don't have the same push that Earl has for that. And now I'm glad that you put Earl at a disadvantage because we've seen movies like this, we've seen stories like this. If everybody think back, we've seen the underdog story where the champ was out there or the hero in the movie was out there, the hero loses, then he comes back and he's put in an impossible situation, and then the hero overcomes the villain. See, Bud made himself the villain. And you know, Earl will be the hero, and he's been put in an impossible situation. But how impossible is it really? Because Blu-ray said he could have made Earl's training camp better. We seen Earl a year ago. He made the weight for Ugas, and he broke that man's orbital. So you got to realize a difference in the training camp can make the difference in the world. Before the Bud and Spence fight, we was all saying Spence or 50-50. Wasn't nobody saying it wasn't nothing. So take that last fight from Earl and Spence, from Earl and Bud out your mind and go back and look into this with objective eyes because everybody's allowed to have a bad day. Lennox Lewis had one against Rockman. Lennox Lewis had one against guy that grew up with me. I forgot the man's name. But yeah, he had a couple of big games and he came back and then we had to do Oliver McCall, the one that boxed with us. So you gotta realize boxing is a dang you can have a bad night in boxing and that's it, because it's not a team sport, it's all on you. So if you get hurt and you can't recover, that's it. But you also get a reset button. When you go back in that ring, each time you get in the ring, it's a new day. You can't live off your past conquests, and you're only as good as your last punch thrown. Chief Dreg Boo, salute, King. And so I feel like Bud setting it up for Earl to get a big comeback. And it's funny because it looks like it's a story playing out because Bud, he's denied the 154 because he has a clear advantage at 147, and that's where he want to keep it at. So everybody's counting Earl out at 147, but Earl is a man. And everybody counted Earl out after the car accident and after the retinal surgery. You got to realize when you put a person's back against the wall, there's only one thing a person can do. He has to fight his way back out that corner. And Earl is a man with pride who's done showed us time and time again that he can rise to the occasion. So now, what's Earl's willpower, and does he have enough to come back and put his back against the wall and start swinging back out the ring? And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he really does. And I feel like I'm glad they put him in this situation because diamond is made by 100 million pounds of pressure on coal. You have to keep that constant pressure and heat on coal to form it into a diamond. And now that they putting this pressure and heat on Earl, either he's gonna become a diamond or he's gonna become rudimentary sedimentary rock. And we just gotta see which type of person it is. EB Sweat a lot, salute King.
Well, too, Upper, just to piggyback off of what you just said, I feel as though at the end of the day, it comes down to what else does Errol have to lose? He lost his belts, he lost the fight in horrible fashion. He pretty much, he's being dragged. It's memes. They got fake diagnoses out there. They got all this stuff out there about this man. What else can he go but to go up? And for everybody that's saying, oh, he was a bad or average fighter, it's like, okay, so now you want to diminish Bud's resume. That's pretty much what you guys are doing. Why you guys are saying that, and as well, and also, Earl, you guys can't just continue to take away from what this man has done for the past 10 plus years. And so I think that the only way to go is to the top. And I'm looking forward to see, even if he doesn't fight Bud, if he goes a different direction, he's still going to sell out because everybody wants to see, okay, who is this guy now?
Exactly. What do you think?
I think he has a chance to do well. I do. I think he has a chance um, to make it. To be honest with you, even if he gets put out again, you know what I'm saying? At 147, 154. To be honest with you, we've said it on this channel before. I would like to see the fight at 160 or 168. To be quite frank, we said that before. I stand on that. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna still ride with him. You know what I'm saying? It's still man down. I'm hoping that, you know what I'm saying, he comes back with a vengeance. I want him to have a chip on his shoulder. I don't even want a press conference. That's how bad. Like, I just want them to get straight to it. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
know
If
what?
I'm,
This
mhm,
might not be a great example, but you remember Keith Thurman, he lost to Manny Pacquiao, right?
right.
And 2 years later, he came back and fought Barrios. Now, his physique looked real nice. Keith Thurman was strong as hell that night, but he gassed out, though. And see, I feel like, and Keith Thurman was big before that fight. I feel like Earl, he just 6 months ago was just at 147. You feel me? And he hasn't been really working out and stuff for over years of change. Now I feel like the rust is knocked off. And like they said, some people say he had a rear injury, so he couldn't spar. Now, if you go in one fight in 3 years and you can't spar, that's like going out to shoot basketball and they shot a ball in 3 years. Like, you're going to have time to adjust. You're going to need all that. And that's one thing about sparring. Sparring gets your timing down. You got to get your timing down. And sparring, if you don't even get a chance to fight, as long as you get good sparring in, it's just like you fighting fights because sparring, you can run at full speed and all that right there. So I feel like if he's perfectly healthy and he can get his sparring in and, get tank and boots or something like that in there, like I said, okay, Key, I understand. And if you do that right there, I feel like Earl could be the same Earl we had before the Ugas fight. See, I don't think he's all the way gone. Earl's still an athlete. His body still has muscle memory. He still was able to get to 147, even though they did it a terrible way. Blu-ray said he can get Earl to 147. And this is what Blu-ray does. He's not no basketball or football strength and conditioner. He does it for boxing. And he does it for men's way of life. I say get rid of that football, basketball strength and conditioner. The hell with that acupuncture bullcrap. Go back to the hard nose like you Clubber Lane. Go back in there and train and do what you got to do and come out and be the fight that we thought it was going to be the first time. And that's what I feel like we're going to get. I feel like the second fight is going to be the fight that we all thought we was getting the first go round. And I feel like Bud's arrogance and the way that he's carrying on, because the way he's carrying on, that's why I like it at 147. Because Bud's gonna feel like Earl Spence is gonna be weight drained again. He's gonna feel like Earl's not gonna be able to make the weight and blah blah this. You see, they're not even trying to fight Earl. They saying it's a waste of time. And that right there is where Earl wins at, because they're gonna look at it like that. Bud's not gonna train as hard because he's gonna feel like, okay, I've had Spence at his best, the biggest fight in his career, and I seen what it was. So people might say no, he won't, but arrogance and pride builds complacency. If you're attacking a strong person, you attack their strengths, not their weaknesses, because a person knows their weaknesses and they're gonna try to guard it. But a person would expect you to attack them in their strengths, because that's their pride. Their pride is gonna make you think you can't hit their strengths, and that's the biggest weakness that a prideful person has is their strengths. You attack their strengths, and the strengths will be much easier to take down than their weaknesses. And see, that's where Earl has a chance. And that's where Earl is going to be the same person we thought it was going to be the first fight. And he's going to shock the world. And people going to be like, wow, what happened? But watch what I tell you. Earl's going to come through and he's going to get the belts all back. And then the way Bud acted, it's going to be a trilogy. And now Bud ain't going to have no choice but to take it at 154 for the third fight. And the way Bud did, Jermaine Wood salute. And well, Jermaine Wood, he had trained for Pacquiao with Blue Ray before the Ugas fight. So, he still had that Ugas with him. But what I was saying, then in the trilogy, Bud showed his ass in the first two fights. Now it's the trilogy. Now Bud gets all his get back. All this BS that he put through in the first and second fight, it's gonna be Bud wanting his lick back, and he's gonna be too smart for his own good. And he's gonna end up putting himself in a disadvantage, and he's gonna get his just desserts. Watch what I'm telling you. He's gonna get everything that he deserves, and people gonna think Bud got done wrong because it's gonna be the rabbit holding the gun and giving Bud back what he deserves. Watch what I'm telling you. I've seen this movie played time and time again. That's what I'm saying. In life, it's nothing new under the sun. Everything that we see has been repeated before in history. And that's what's the great thing about it. Bud setting himself up for the okie doke. And I'm glad about it. Teach salute, King. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Upper? You can hear me? Let me know if you could hear me. Hey, can anybody in the chat hear me? Or hey, Upper.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead.
hear me. All right. Yeah, so the thing is, my stance on this whole situation is that um until Bud says something about the rematch and where he wants to set it at, like nobody could really criticize him. What was brought up in the media pretty much came from his stablemate. That's not Bud.
Nah, it's confirmed, bro.
It's confirmed.
It's confirmed that the rematch is at 147.
All right. If so, personally, I prefer to fight at 147 just because everything is on the line. And it makes more sense if it's at 147 because it'll make more money that way. Not as much as the first fight, but I think it's going to make more money if they fight at 147 instead of 154. Um,
Real shit.
you know,
Salute, King. I mean, I'm glad you caught me online. Hold on one second, Teach.
yeah,
Real King, salute, King. I, my man, real shit be having them great comments. I can't respond to them all because I be busy, but salute, King. And TV Boss Rose. Oh, hold on. My man Lions on 510 proves that Bud knows Earl was weight drained. Of course, Lions. That's what I've been saying, sir. That's exactly what I said the other day. But yeah, Teach, I understand that. Like, Bud knows that the man was weight drained. That's what makes this so much better. So if Earl comes through and fights through the adversity of the weight drain and everything, and he pops his ass,
right,
then that makes this story that much better.
exactly. And the thing is, it's not like a foregone conclusion that Bud wins, because anything happens in boxing. And if Spence were to win at 147 again, it's just sweeter because he gets the belt, which is what he wanted initially, the belts. That's why he stayed at 147.
Yeah, but he won't be the first. He wanted to be the first, but he won't be the first. But
Yeah,
it don't
but he
matter because
still
he'll
gets
still
it.
have it. He'll
He
still have
still gets that
undisputed.
accolade. Yeah. So
But
that's my reason behind it.
yeah, and plus I like the fact because it like greatness. This will make Spence win much better than Buzz win because now everybody sees that Spence is weight drained, and
Hmm.
Buzz trying to use it as a weapon. He's trying to weaponize the weight class, and so if Spence comes out of this with people knowing everybody saying he can't make the weight, everybody saying how impossible it is, everybody saying it don't make no sense for him to fight right there to be the same. So with all these naysayers and these doubters, and if Spence come out there, Snoopy Mac, salute King, and if Spence comes out there and he puts on a performance, like I feel like the Ugas performance is good enough to beat Terrence Crawford. And if he comes out there and he puts on that performance and he does the impossible
Hmm.
and wins the belts and all that, that makes him that much more of a star. He's already a star, but I think that pushes him into the superstar realm because he went against all adversity. He went against everything that people said he wasn't going to do, and he overcame. He overcame a Ferrari. He overcame an eye accident. And he overcame weight drain and Bud.
All right. Um, so me is like I'm not a I like both guys as boxers, but in Spence, I'm not a fan of either. And when I first called this fight, I called it 50-50. But I also told people that I favor Spence's style more since he goes to the body. And that's a style like I personally like in boxing. When a boxer is able to go to the body. But
Yeah,
um again,
he
in this
wasn't able
fight,
to employ that style though.
yeah,
He was off his game. Everybody know he was off his game. He lost. Period.
right,
But one thing about a rematch, you both starting off on zero. You
right,
know what I'm saying? What you did the last fight can't carry over to this fight.
right.
And a punch can change the outcome. Hey, one punch can change the whole outcome of a fight. We've seen plenty of
So,
fights stop off one solid punch. And see, another thing people forgetting, Errol Spence has that amateur pedigree as well. He was an Olympian. See, people forgetting that Earl can still box.
mhm.
His amateur pedigree was a little bit better than Crawford's. He went farther than Crawford. And see, people forget about that. So I feel like Earl's gonna bring his boxing ability out this fight. And I feel like he's gonna game plan right. And I feel like we're gonna see a completely different fight. We're gonna
Yeah,
see
that
a
could
man with
be.
nothing to lose. All the
And then,
pressure's gonna be on Bud.
mhm. Now in this upcoming fight, I mean, most people they're just gonna favor Bud. Spence, Spence, in my opinion, he gotta do some drastic stuff if he wants to win this fight. One being be comfortable on the weight. Two being analyze what he did in the first fight and make sure that he doesn't make those same mistakes again. I mean, he was doing a lot of bad things, wrong things in the first fight, which he has to change. Um, personally, I said that December is going to be too soon. This year is going to be too soon for Spence. Should have probably waited sometime in 2024.
He can't because Bud tripping. Salute Kawhi Elliott.
But yeah, I think he needs more time, but we'll see what it is if it's this year. Hopefully he can make something happen. And again, I'm not on any of those guys' side. I'm still calling it I'm still going to call it a 50-50 because I'm not with the toxicity this community is spreading with these two guys.
Yeah, King. Bud was the favorite in the first fight. Yep. He was a 2-point favorite. So all that money we lost in the first fight, we're going to double it up this fight. Because a lot of people is doubting Errol and they don't give him a chance. And you know Vegas understands that as well. But I'm telling you now, don't be surprised if Errol comes away with the victory.
And then to one of your points about what you said earlier. I mean, I don't think Bud I don't think he's getting too big-headed. Like if he said he wants to fight Canelo. If he gets that opportunity, that's a fight you gotta take because it's for money. You just have to
Who?
take it. Anybody would take it.
Who you talking about?
But like I don't
Bud would
think
never
he
get
get
the Canelo
yeah,
fight.
I don't think he's big-headed saying that he wants to fight Canelo. Because if he gets the opportunity, it's something you
He
just gotta
won't get
take.
it. Let me explain to you about that Canelo situation. A year ago, they asked Bud, can he beat Canelo? Bud said he wouldn't fight Canelo because Canelo too big. But they've been pushing for Errol Spence versus Canelo for the last 4 or 5 years.
Mhm.
They even offered him a contract. Canelo versus Spence in Texas does more than Canelo versus Bud anywhere.
Yeah, you could say that.
Bud would not get that Canelo fight. Al Heyman would not give Bud that Canelo fight. And the way that Bud has been talking about Earl was gay for Al Heyman and all that stuff right there, Bud would never get that. They dealing with him because of Spence situation. They trying to get rid of him with the boot situation. Terrence Crawford, he has an exaggerated sense of self-worth. Shout out to Coach Amber for the $2 super chat. She said, was Bud the fave? And we were supposed to apologize. Yes, Bud was the favorite.
Let me ask
And why are we supposed to apologize for rooting for the underdog?
so let me ask you this question, Upper. So when you said Bud won't get the fight, is it from a financial standpoint, or do you think that Bud's like skill isn't enough to beat Canelo? Because I mean,
Now, I feel like Bud has the skill to beat Canelo.
all right, okay. That's what I wanted to know. All right. So
But even
purely
Canelo
finance.
said it. You gotta realize Bud is not no high value market.
Yeah, he isn't. I think everybody knows that.
He just doesn't know it. See, he has an exaggerated sense, yes, all things, exaggerated sense of self-worth. He thinks that he's a big star because he beat Earl now, and he's not. He hasn't even tried to build up 100. And then taking this fight at 147 instead of 154, when you said you'll fight Charlo at 154 or Canelo at 168, it really makes you look bad as a fighter. It really does. And that's gonna push his stardom back.
Yeah. Bud needs to take, I mean, when all's said and done, Bud should probably take another pay-per-view fight to see what he does, and
Exactly.
see if he could get like another fight, maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what people missing though, right? This is the point people missing. Earl's biggest downfall was his arrogance. Earl says 50% of him is better than any of these welterweights out here. Earl felt like he was better than all these people out here by a long shot. You see, he kept saying, look at who Bud fought. He fought him in it. Earl felt like he was way superior. So Earl went into it like that. Now Earl realized that he has a dog fight on his hands, that he has somebody that's on his level. Now Earl's going to take this a lot more serious, and he's going to do a lot more things that he should have did the first fight. And Earl is going to steamroll this guy, man. You done woke up a sleeping giant. If you heard Charlo, he say Earl finally got that fire back in his eyes now. Like, when a fighter, that's just like if you watch Baki Hama, his dad, the ogre. It took his son to come fight him for him to get his joy back from fighting because he had been beating on people so long. Nobody gave him competition. Mm-hmm. Now Bud done awoke in this competition, and I love the fact that Bud tries to handicap Earl and pushes Earl back against the wall. This Bud and Earl at 147 is better than Earl and Bud at 154 because now you actively trying to handicap Earl and he sees it.
Now I'm going to rebut your statement just now and say that Bud didn't give 100% his last fight. What do you say about that?
I say you silly. I say you silly because Bud even said he didn't take it easy on Earl. He said even though he seen Earl went right, he said he kept his foot on the gas and put it all in there because he said he wasn't about to play with him.
Yeah, but from the eye test of most people, I mean, you could look at Bud.
No, Bud did everything he could. Bud didn't hold nothing back. Exactly, young world. He took him lightly. Earl be taking everybody lightly at welterweight. He's done came out and said it. That's what people fail to realize. Earl's done said in numerous occasions that 50% of him is better than any welterweight. And see, now Earl got humbled. And now it's time for Terrence Crawford to get humbled. See, Earl got humbled. Now Terrence going to get humbled. Like I said, this is going to be a trilogy. And what's crazy is that Earl's going to come back and spank him at 147. And that's going to make Bud look that much more bad because he tried to handicap this man. He tried to fight this man at a disadvantage and still got his ass handed to him. That's going to make his stock plummet. And what's funny, and this is the funniest thing, the Crawford fans. I can't wait to see their face after the rematch. I can't wait to hear what they say after the rematch. Because this man clearly admits, and his teammate Stone So Cold admits that they know Earl can't make 147. That's why they put it there so he can go on about his business. So for the fact that he takes it and whoops their ass, that's going to be so sweet. I'm telling you, it's irony at its best. If everybody know we've seen irony.
Now, I have one more question for you before I leave because I got to get back to work. So, what's up with the Keith disrespect on social media now? You guys don't think he deserves a big fight? Because I do. I like Keith.
Who don't deserve a big fight?
Keith Thurman.
I mean, I don't think so.
Why not?
Okay, what has Thurman did to deserve a big fight?
I mean, the guy, he only lost to Manny Pacquiao.
Okay,
he was top of the welterweight at one point.
In the last 5 years, he's only fought one other welterweight besides Manny Pacquiao.
I mean, that's out of his control because he was injured.
No, it's not out of his control. He's had a chance to make fights and he's pulled out of it. He could have had the Eudenis Ugas fight. He pulled out of it. I feel like Keith Thurman has to fight somebody to earn a big fight.
I'm not mad at that either.
Salute, Big Dose. Salute, King.
Boots. I mean, that's a good fight. That's
we just putting Thurman to the front of the line. When Thurman, his own volition, he takes these breaks in fights. It be Thurman. Like, he took a break because he had a kid and everything. I understand you got a new family member, but damn, you still boxing. They had a fight for Thurman, and he turned it down because he said he didn't want to fight in the bubble. He said he needed fans to watch him fight. And when you do shit like that, then you push yourself behind in the line. And that's what happened to Thurman. So Thurman, he beat a Mario Barrios. He fought Mario Barrios, Josecito Lopez, and Manny Pacquiao.
But
That's 3 fights that Thurman has had since 2017. It's six
I mean,
years.
but the thing is, he still has a name in the division, right? If
Okay,
if
he
let's say
struggled. Keith
let's
Thurman
say
struggled. Hold on, listen, bro.
yeah.
Keith Thurman struggled with
Hmm.
a rising 140 pounder that was stopped by Gervonta Tank Davis.
Hmm.
Mario Barrios was dropped 3 times and stopped by Gervonta Tank Davis, and this man almost stops Keith Thurman.
Hmm.
First fight at welterweight. Now, what was you saying?
I mean, so I was saying Keith still has the name right at 147. I
But
mean,
you took
who
a
else?
first time
Who?
welterweight. You took a first time welterweight that
Yeah.
got stopped in his last fight.
Hmm.
His last fight, he was stopped by a lightweight. And he took you 12 rounds and hurt you in the 12, and he hurt you in the fight.
All right.
That doesn't speak well to him deserving a big fight right there, bro. It
All right.
doesn't.
So let me ask you this, and I'll just leave after. So, who do you what fight do you think makes the most money? Like, let's say Spence Boots Bud, um, Boots Thurman, Spence Thurman.
Spence Thurman.
Spence Thurman. Thurman still has a name, and that's the
That's not.
point.
It's not because of that. It's just because of the history that Spence and Thurman has.
All right. Hey, it was good talking to you, Upper. So, gonna get back to work.
All right,
Keep
T. You have a
going.
good day, bro. Appreciate you coming
All right.
up here, bro.
All right. Peace.
All right. You have a blessed one. And y'all give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, people. Had to light the rest of this J up. Kawhi, he didn't beat the brace off Barrios, though, Kawhi. Last time I checked in that fight, Barrios had Thurman running, holding his guts. TV Boss Rose. Bud versus Boots is not a worldwide pay-per-view, bro. Bud versus Boots might do 300, maybe 350,000. That's because Boots has a name right now. It doesn't do more than 500. Errol and Boots will probably do more than Bud and Boots. I'm just being honest, TB Boss Rhodes. Bud and Boots does not outsell Thurman and Boots. I mean, Thurman and Spence. It doesn't. Thurman and Spence will outsell Bud and Boots by a mile. Thurman and Spence was the fight since 2015. Yeah, TG spit his mouthpiece out because that man got hit in the body. Barrios hurt him. And Thurman admitted it that if Barrios was more athletic, he could have stopped him. Yeah, Coach Amber, you ain't got to scream in the mic. I just hold the phone. I hold the mic away from me and just talk regular. Hey, Teach, that's a hard fight right there. I'm not even going to touch it. I was going to put it in my teaser, but I am not even touching that Barrios and Ugas because Ugas has the skills to pay the bill. But Barrios looked good in his last fight. Yes, Coach Amber. EJ and Virgil in Texas will outsell Bud and EJ, of course. Virgil Ortiz and Earl Spence does bigger than Bud and Earl. Yeah, I believe that. It sells out Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I tell you that. It'll sell that stadium out. Exactly. Teach Barrios is starting to look good for the 147 division. But Ugas was a powerhouse as well, though. So I don't know if we're gonna get the Ugas that beat Ray Robinson, the one that beat Sean Porter and was robbed. The Ugas that beat Omar Figueroa and gave him his first loss. or we're gonna get a shell of Ugas that fought Earl Spence. But see, one thing about Ugas, he has that fighting spirit. That man has came to America numerous times, and each time you come to America from Cuba, that's a life or death trip right there. That's why Derrick James said we're gonna have to break this man. We ain't gonna stop him. We gotta break him. Ugas was still ready to fight with his eye bleeding and everything. So Ugas, he's a hell of a warrior. Richard Hill, salute, King. Nah, it ain't right, but Bud done showed us a lot of things that ain't right. He showed us it wasn't right trying to back out the fight if he didn't get a coin toss. So, Bud done showed us who he was. And just because he won, we couldn't expect for him to change a new leaf. I mean, we would have thought that he got his just due. He would. Rick Tim, salute, King. Let me drop the links. I know Rick Tim's like to get up here and defend his boy. And that link for anybody else that want to hop up here as well. You should still be a mod, Richard Hill. If you not give me like 3 minutes, I go to my pad and put you back on there, bro. A lot of people, I don't know what be happening, man. But nah, I haven't took no mods away. Hey, Shawad, is there a way that you can make him a Richard Hill a mod, or do I have to still do it? Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to my iPad. Okay, Shawad, you can just time mods out. Okay. Let me finish getting these essential vitamins in my system, Richard Hill. About 2 more minutes, and I go up there on the iPad and do it. Okay, so I know you can time out moderators and stuff. I know you can do all that. I thought you could add it. Oh, okay, Rick. All right, cool. Hey, Rick, hop up here for a minute, Rick. I was just going in about your boy and how this right here, how irony is such a sweet situation, and how pride comes destruction, how everything that goes around comes around. Hey, Kawhi, I can click on it from the phone, just clicking on it. I ain't really that good at StreamYard either. I'm trying to have my wife teach me so I can start putting videos up in my live and stuff like my. I'll be getting better the next month. Yeah, I don't even know how to do it from my laptop. I can do it from my iPad and my iPhone. I tried from my laptop and I don't know what I'm doing. So, I spent a lot of my life gone. So, it's hard for me to with this tech savvy stuff. I'm not really technical savvy.
What's up, Bubba?
What's going on, Richard?
Oh man, another beautiful day, man. Just got off work and shit, cruising on in. What's
Yeah,
up with it?
every day that we're alive is a beautiful day, buddy.
Oh man, no doubt. Every day the sun come up, man. We blessed with another one.
Every day we wake up in the morning, we get up, thank the Most High, we here. But hey,
No doubt.
I was sitting here explaining earlier that there's nothing new under the sun. You feel me? Everything,
Right?
everything that's been done has been repeated as well. And I said,
And you know what? And everything that's done was meant to happen the way it exactly happened. The good, the bad, the ugly.
and see, a lot of people feel like since Crawford made the fight at 147 and he's not doing 154, they feel like Earl has no chance in the world now, right?
Okay.
And that's right there. People still got to realize a year ago, Earl made the weight comfortably and destroyed Yadaitis Ugas.
Destroyed him.
And people got to realize, Blu-ray said everything that went wrong could have went wrong at Earl's training camp. And I feel like with Earl's back against the wall and everybody telling him what he can and can't do, I feel like this is the motivation we needed for a rematch. People don't realize one punch can change a fight. And what you did to a fighter in one fight doesn't carry over to the next fight. And Earl, in his cockiness, he thinking that 50% of him could beat any welterweight. He was humbled by Bud. And now I feel like we about to get that iconic fight that we wanted in the first go round. And I'm still leaning towards Spence. Just because he has nothing to lose.
Hey, man, keep going.
Like all the pressure's on Bud because they know Spence can make that weight comfortable. They even said it. That's why they put it at 147 so Spence wouldn't take it. So you trying to force the man not to take the fight. So if he takes this fight, all the pressure's on you to perform. And I feel like that's what's gonna make it that much sweeter when it happens. Let me get your take.
Man, what I saw, regardless of Earl's condition, man, I saw a total one-sided ass whooping, just like Earl predicted, man. And I don't fully expect it to be another one-sided ass whooping to that degree, but 147, 154, hell, even 160, I fully expect the same outcome for Bud to win. You know, I really like Earl. I rock with Earl. You know, I'm one of the Bud people that never ever blast and talk down on Earl. You know, I root for him for everybody except when he faced Bud. But man, that was such a dominant performance, man. It's difficult for me to see Earl win that fight at 154, or even the rematch, of course, at 147 when it's a struggle for him. So, man, I really, really need to see that rematch.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Okay.
Take away that last fight Earl just had, right? With Bud. Take it out your mind, right?
Okay.
Now put the Spence versus Ugas fight in your mind, right?
Right.
And put Bud versus Porter in your mind, right?
Okay.
And okay, they're back on the same playing field. You understand what I'm saying? You got to realize, though, I've seen Bud struggle with Mean Machine, David Benavidez or Jose Benavidez. It's just that if you in there with a motherfucker that just can't move, you can look that great. You can.
And look, on the flip side of that, the flip side of that is Porter, David Adville, Benavidez, none of them the caliber of Earl.
Exactly.
So Bud really dug deep and prepared immensely for that Earl bout like nobody else.
And
why didn't Earl do the same? You know, why didn't Earl do the same? This was the biggest fight of both of their career. They both got their biggest bag. Why in the hell Earl didn't come in super powered up like Bud did?
What if he couldn't have came in that way? What if he
What
knew
stopped him against Danny Garcia and Ugas? I mean, he was doing fine at 147 until Bud. Why? Just because he getting older, Bud getting older too.
But check this out, right? They also said that, you know, they weren't making excuses, but they also said he couldn't spar because of his rib injury. And if you can't spar, then you can't get tight. You used to play basketball.
Is that Bud's fault, Upper? Is that Bud's fault?
I didn't say it was his fault. We talking about the rematch, though, Rick. I'm not talking about what happened. I'm talking about just throw that fight out your mind and just look at it with eyes that say, okay, this is a new day and age. This is Earl versus Bud.
Yeah. Okay.
And I said it'll be a whole different ball game. I feel like, you know, we'll see what we were supposed to see.
Man, that's what I want to see that too. I don't want to see the rematch at 147.
I felt like we was robbed of 2 fight history. Like I felt like we didn't get what we signed up for. And y'all make sure y'all smash the likes, man. Hit the like button, people. I got you right, Richie Hill. But I felt like we was denied a fight that we really deserved. Like Errol, like I said before, has been a cocky individual. Errol has always said that 50% of him is better than them 100% of these other welterweights.
Yeah.
And found out that that's not the case. And
Hey,
I
man.
felt like Errol got hurt, but he didn't want to give up that big bag either. So just because he was hurt, and I'm not even gonna stunt. If I knew I had a fight, Rick, and I know I wasn't in my best shape, but I know I'm about to get my biggest payday, I'm gonna take the fight. The hell with that. Like this is my biggest payday. And I can tell it was different. Because before that fight, all Earl ever talked about was being the first welterweight undisputed champion. Remember that? He been talking about that for years, right? And you remember before the fight talking to Brian Custer, he said, I didn't say that. I just want the money. Remember he said that?
Mm-hmm.
See, he told us without telling us basically like he's fighting right now for the money. So he's not in his best shape to be the first champion, but he's in his shape to get this damn bread. And I felt like it was a money grab on that fight because he knew he wasn't in great shape, but he didn't want to push that fight off no longer because hell, that was over $35 million.
Well, he should have been in great shape. Man, the 5 P's you can't get past them. Prior preparation prevents piss performance.
But if you
it's no way he should have came into the. What he was injured with a real injury, you say, before this first fight?
Yeah. They say he could do no
Man,
spars the whole
bad time.
He couldn't spar the whole
that sucks.
I wouldn't say that. The nigga still got paid.
Yeah, handsomely. Both of them did.
Yeah.
Both of them did. I saw him and his girlfriend in Spain right after that. Man, I like seeing that.
Errol's my guy, but I don't feel sorry for him because even though he wasn't 100%, he got 100% payday. So, he owe it to us to get back in there and get it in blood because here we paid for
at 100%. Right.
We paid for a bullshit performance. Salute me, East. We paid for a performance that wasn't top tier. You got your money. Now it's time for you to go in there and put everything on the line and give us that fight that we deserve because that first fight was a travesty. I'm going to be the first one to say it. And I understand you not wanting to pull out because, hell, remember, he didn't even want to pull out the Manny Pacquiao fight. Remember, they said his eye, he lose his eye. He said, I got another eye. Like, Errol was willing to get with Pacquiao just not to damn lose a chance to make that payday. So he missed the Pacquiao payday. You knew he wasn't about to miss that Bud Crawford payday as much as he had to do to get Bud in that ring. He felt like if he rescheduled that fight, it would have never happened. He said, fuck that. He get to that ring regardless.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't make no excuse. He said, I ain't making no excuse. I lost.
Yeah, hell, his rabid fan club making more excuses. He ain't making none. Hey, cause you know what? It's sad that Earl didn't come in 100% and Bud just slaughtered him. But all we seeing is Bud had loaded gloves, Bud on PEDs. Whatever folk got to do to discredit Bud is like night and day. They just have to discredit him somehow because of his behavior. Because of his personality outside the ring. I don't agree with a lot of his moves outside the ring, but you ain't got to put them cheating. Them cheating and PED jackets on his back.
What people don't realize, PEDs is not cheating. You have PEDs that's not illegal. Most of the stuff that you do is performance enhancing. Like I said before, creatine, Pedialyte, all that's performance enhancing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So they have snack. They build stuff as performance enhancers that's legal. Snack Strong is using legal performance enhancers until they put it on the FDA. That's why they changing the makeup and they changing the isomers of these products, because as long as it's not illegal, then you can use it. And people use performance enhancer all the time. That's why Victor Conte, he takes a whole makeup of your body and your molecules and your blood type, and he makes a
Right.
regimen and he gets supplements that's good for your body. That's not illegal. Now, when they make
So keep going.
okay, like with fentanyl, right? Fentanyl is illegal.
Okay.
Fentanyl is illegal. But if you notice, they keep coming out with different kinds, different colors of the fentanyl and everything. What they're doing, they're changing the isomer. They have designer drug makers that changes an isotope and an isomer that makes it legal. Like you have like over 120 different types of fentanyl. And each time they change that polymer and the isotope, it makes it legal again until the FDA runs it and they make that illegal as well. See, they can change up the genetic makeup of a substance to make it legal. That's why the FDA has to keep. That's why the FDA has to keep running tests on things. That's why the FDA has to keep running tests and keep backlogging it and keep cross-referencing it, because people sit there and make it illegal drugs. And it's the same way with that.
Yeah, but they damn sure PD cheating on Buzz just because hell, they
Bud even
man
said
didn't come
himself though.
in fully
Bud said you won't
100%.
find. Bud
You
said you
know?
won't find nothing illegal in my system. He didn't say he didn't have that in his system. He said you won't find nothing illegal in my system. And like I said, Pedialyte, creatine, all that shit is performance enhancers. It enhances your performance to do something different.
Yeah.
Welcome, 2 Cent. Welcome, 2 Cent, to the stage. So y'all,
What's up, chat? What's up,
what's
What's
up?
up, Rick?
What's up with it, 2 Cent?
Much.
Y'all
What we
make sure
talking
y'all
about
smash
today?
the
I
like
just hopped
button.
on.
You said what, 2 Cent?
What we talking about? I just hopped on. I ain't even listened first.
Oh, we was talking about how the fights at 147, how Errol Spence is going to change it around, because a year ago he was able to destroy Ugas. So with a perfect training camp, how he has a good chance. And then we was talking about how all performance enhancing drugs are illegal. It ain't illegal until they ban it.
Right.
Like the shit Canelo was on clenbuterol, Rick Timms. Motherfuckers was using clenbuterol until like the late 90s, early 2000s. Then it started getting banned. You know, that shit was legal at one time. Now that shit's illegal. And now clenbuterol, they done raised the levels up. So now Mexican fighters can have a certain level of clenbuterol in their system.
Well, I was reading somewhere too that they were saying that the meat is really tainted in Mexico, for real.
When you Canelo Alvarez, his trainer Eddie Reynoso, they own a slaughterhouse. When you got that type of money, you only eat the finest cuts of beef. They're not eating the cuts of beef that's tainted. The people that has the contaminated meat is the poor people, the sea urchins. You ain't seeing nobody like Canelo eat no tainted street tacos. Yeah, it's got some contaminated beef, but that's the people that can't afford it. People like Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, they don't eat shit like that. But it sounds good when you make your argument.
Yeah, it do.
You on mute, Rick Timms. If you try to talk.
What y'all asked me something?
Oh no, I was talking to you, but I was like, damn it, he must be on mute if he didn't know.
Oh yeah, I had it on mute, man. I'm about to walk into this building, man. I'm gonna have to catch back up with y'all when I come out of this building, because my reception about to get trashed.
All right, that's fine. I'll probably be up here for
All
another
right.
minute.
I'll get back up if you're still on.
All right.
What if Bud stalling the fight to give Spence more time though? I know
Why
that
would he?
sounds crazy, but
Why would he do that when he could just give him 154 and he wouldn't need all that time?
I don't know. It sounds good. Trying to figure out I just don't understand. Why are you being so doggone difficult? Just make the fight at 154 and let's
He told
go.
you why.
It always got to be some type of saga, some type of
No, it's
drama, some
not.
type
He
of
told you exactly what it was. See, people have a habit of not listening to what people say. Bud said he felt like this fight is a waste of time. He doesn't want to have the rematch. He said that's why they're going to put it at 147 and hope EJ walk away. Because they want to face the Canelo and Charlo winner. Not saying that
well,
he's going to get that fight, but in his mind, he feel like he's deserving of that fight. And he's not trying to fight EJ because he feel like EJ will tie up his time.
but what you up? That don't make sense. If you all about money and you want to get paid, take the
Everybody
rematch,
wants that
get your
Canelo chance.
easy. Man, the Canelo don't. That's not even. You talking about that, but is that even reasonable? Is that even realistic? Like, why do you think Canelo is going to want to fight you? Why
Because
would
Canelo was
Canelo
going to
want
fight.
to fight Crawford?
Because Canelo was going to fight Errol for 50 million. And see the
Earl's not
fight.
a 130 pounder.
Exactly, but you can't tell Crawford that. You feel what I'm saying? See, Crawford wants everything that Earl has, and everything that Earl was gonna get. That's what Crawford wants, and Crawford know that they've always been talking about Canelo versus Earl. That's always been talked for the last 4 years. And in his mind, he feel like he deserves that fight. Fuck Earl, because you can say what you want to say. Canelo versus anybody is a different type of money. Yes, Bud Crawford fought Earl Spence. He got 35 million. Yeah. You fight Canelo. Canelo's gonna bring at least 1 million buys to that fight. Matter of fact, Canelo's gonna bring at least 800,000 pay-per-view buys to that fight. At least. Not to mention if you can damn add a little expertise, you get that fight over 1 million. That's a bigger bag than the Earl fight. You feel what I'm saying? That's what he's looking at. And plus, he's looking at that Canelo isn't a bigger risk than Earl is. Because Canelo is not athletic anymore. He's slow. And he's flat footed. And Earl is a lot more dangerous than Canelo. And you know, when fighters come up, that whole boy salute. They have a speed advantage over the bigger fighters. And Bud feel like he can outbox Canelo easier. And he knows that'll be a bigger payday. And he know he got lucky off the Earl Spence first fight. Because I feel like Earl's ribs was injured from that last car accident. Remember?
Yeah, and he
After he
didn't
got
really
that
wasn't
car
even
accident,
eager. He
that's
wasn't
when
even
Bud
eager
was
to
ready
fight
to
him
make
until
the
after that accident.
yeah. And see, people say that accident went bad, but what they forget, that kid totaled that car. Antonio Brown, salute King. That car was totaled against Earl's car. And Earl said that he had some injuries from that car accident. And Bud was quick to say, spin the block back. And so you know, now Earl is not Thomas Hill. Salute, King.
Salute to you. Salute to 2 Cents too, man. I thought Rick was on here. I was gonna come and holler at Rick,
He
man.
said he'd be back. He had to go in the building for a minute.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, what you think? What you think about the because I think he officially came out and said that if it don't happen at 47, it ain't happening at all.
Yeah, I like it though. Because I like that you put Earl's back against the wall. Earl has no choice but to come out swinging. And see, people don't realize it, but I say take away that Terrence Crawford and Earl fight, right? And I say a year and 5, 6 months ago, he beat
Hmm.
Udenis Ugas at 147 and looked amazing. And you know, Earl had a chance to spar and do all that. He couldn't spar and do that this training camp because of his injury. And I feel like Earl, like he said, 50% of him is better than 100% of these welterweights. And Earl was
Yeah.
not about to let another big Manny Pacquiao payday pass him by.
No, he
He let him
wasn't.
pass him by with Ugas, and Ugas got the payday. So Earl was gonna take this fight regardless if he had one leg, one lung, or nothing. He wasn't about to miss this payday. Now I feel like Earl's back where he needs to be at, and I feel like Earl gonna buckle down, he gonna train, and I feel like the money that we lost, we about to get it back times three because you know they about to make Bud a super favorite.
How do you feel about? I don't know if you've noticed this, or at least this is my perception of it. Of it's like a media push to downplay the rematch. Like you got people saying, "Oh, this rematch will be bad for boxing. There's nothing Earl can do. The skill gap is just too big, and all of this stuff." Like, oh, he's trying to give Earl a out by taking the fight at 47, and it's like a big media push to not have the rematch. Like to say that this rematch would be bad for boxing, I feel like that's a reach, and that's a bit of a stretch.
Of
Man, yeah.
course it is.
Oh, go ahead, Upper. I got something I want to say.
Somebody TV kind of loud.
Oh, that's me. Let me mute that.
Go ahead and speak whatever you want to, Thomas Hill. Javon, salute, King.
Yeah, I think that was my TV in the back. But
Give him that a salute, King.
I just wanted to say that it's mighty suspicious to me that after one fight, Earl's trash. He's one dimensional. He's not no longer a skilled enough boxer to have been on an Olympic team. He's not a skilled enough boxer to navigate the welterweight division and unify the belts. He's lesser of a boxer than Egis Kavalauskas, David Avanesian, untrained and ill-prepared Sean Porter, a washed-up Amir Khan, a David Postal, one-legged Jose Benavidez Jr. And this is the narrative that is being spun. Now, I myself will not take away from Crawford and his skill set because his skill set is pretty dang amazing. But if you're being honest and you know what you see, you have to admit that Earl Spence that entered into that ring that night was not the right Earl Spence that has been entering into the ring. And one loss don't make you no longer invalid or anything like that. But what has to happen is if he's going to go back and fight at 147, he's going to have to do it the healthy way. He can't take from his body like he did the last one. Because I've never seen an interview or I've never seen them next to one
Yeah,
another.
what they
But
did, they sat there and slow rolled it. What they gonna have to do, they gonna have to take that damn motherfucking water weight off in 2 days like you supposed to, like, and get that shit back off. Like the way they did that, they was slowly draining early, killing them. But like Blu-ray said, anything that could have went wrong did go wrong. I said get with Blu-ray because don't nobody know Earl's body like Blu-ray. Blu-ray always kept his ass on par. He did all that right. So get Blu-ray, get your strength and conditioning, man. He didn't have no abs or no muscle definition or nothing. And you really couldn't tell because it's tattoos, but if you put his body to body, that shit looked so much weak, like an Ethiopian refugee, bro. Like his body looked like an Ethiopian refugee. And he was the smaller fighter. That was his
he
style.
was much more the smaller fighter in the ring.
And, that's Earl's thing, being the bigger fighter, the bigger skillful fighter. And he wasn't. Shout out to my boy Joshua Priest for the $5 cash app, man. You don't know. I appreciate that, Josh. I appreciate that right there. That keeps the channel going. A man ain't working no more, so I'm making this full time, and I appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate everybody that's done supported the channel. Thank you.
And so with that, I'm going to say that I don't really hold much against Crawford and the fact that he's exacting what's in the contract, and he's using the laws that are binding in the contract, the rules. I mean, that's binding in the contract. But there is something about somebody doing something for you that no other person would do, no
Nah,
organization would do,
it's
not even
called
your own promoter to do, to allow you to make the fight and for you to experience back in bread, because he ain't never experienced back in bread before. And now you can't You can't bend after he broke himself so that he can make the fight for you. So like just like on principle, that's kind of like effed up if you truly appreciate that person. Now, like I said, if in the contract it says he gets to dictate the weight stipulation, then so be it. Errol got to decide whether or not he want to take the fight, and if he's gonna take the fight, then he's gonna have to do it the healthy way this time around. He's gonna have to be on point.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully, we'll see what it goes down. If not, then go fight your mandatory in Boots Ennis.
But you
I mean, if
know,
he's not worried about them belts, he can say that weight. I mean, depending on what the penalty is, of course, but you can be like, forget this weight, man. I'm coming in what I'm coming in, and we're gonna go at it. Because I don't got time to be playing all these shenanigans and games with you. Like, fight me where we can have a competitive fight, bro. Like, but I guess that was never was from the time Crawford said when they fight you, they gonna say you stayed at the weight too long. His plan was never to have a fair fight.
but
Yeah,
see, that's what makes it that much better because all the chips are stacked against Spence, and Crawford has all the leverage, all the handicaps is in his favor. So that's what makes it that much greater when Earl overcomes that, and when he beats him. Oh man, that's gonna make the rise for Earl that much sweeter because Earl faced all odds. Earl faced a Ferrari, a concrete, a toy Rector, being destroyed in the first fight, being weight drained and still coming back and them overcoming and overcoming all adversity to become undisputed. Then he can get the hell up out of that division.
and then that'll make that trilogy if they should fight it. That'll make that match even that much more epic too, as well. So I mean, if he does go back, I'm hoping that he goes back and he gets the right people in his corner to train him to get to that weight safely.
I highly
Safely.
doubt we get a trilogy. Man. I doubt we get a trilogy. I don't see. Let's say Spence win. You think Crawford really gonna fight him again?
Well, who else? See, this
Hey,
is the thing with Crawford too,
if
Spence. I
Crawford
think Crawford.
loses, either he gonna retire or Crawford has pride, and everybody's gonna be on Crawford's neck because he sat there and had Earl weight drain and still got his ass whooped. Crawford ain't gonna be able to sleep, and Crawford's gonna have to want to get his get back. But then guess what? Earl get to pick the weight. And if I was Earl, I'd tell his ass 160. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nigga. But see, that's why I said Crawford has a rude awakening coming because karma is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Karma comes around. She an evil little thing, but she's firm, but she's fair. And karma does come around. And like I said, everything you do, nothing's new under the sun. So what you doing now, it will come back around to you. And what you put forth magnifies and comes back to you. So when Earl has to face all the adversity and all the people that stayed down, man down, not these concrete creators that's jumping around kissing Bud ass now, that was over here talking shit with us. When Earl comes back and mashes the gas on Bud and makes it look easy, like the Ugas fight or easier, and he does that, he stops that man, or he breaks that man's orbital, then everybody gonna be able to jock the Spence train, but we don't need you back over here. You showed your true colors, you know, and guess what? You need your link back now, because now Earl's win makes it that much better. Now Earl can talk about undisputed versus undisputed. He ain't gotta fight you now, Crawford. Now Earl can make his big payday with Canelo like he was supposed to. Then what? You gonna take 240-pound weights and walk home with it? Because you know you're gonna be upset because Earl is about to humble that man. And a lot of people think I'm bullshit. No. I just tell people just take away the last fight. The man had the worst training camp in his career. Like I said, look back to his fights previous. He was able to compete. He wasn't able to compete this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think also the way that he's moved, I think he's doing more to alienate and dissociate people from him than what he really generally thinks he's doing to like push him forward and give him that bump and like draw power. And I think it's going to backfire on him where he's going to have no other choice but to fight somebody that's gonna make him bread. And like if Crawford and Spence do fight again, and if Spence is able to win that fight, even being at that weight, then people gonna really want to see the third fight, especially if it's a great fight, or if Spence knocks him out. So I don't know. I think what you said yesterday too bore a lot of merit. 2 cents. I forgot what it was that you were saying about Bud, but man, I got to think about it because it plays in effect what everything is. Like I just got to remember. Let me remember that. I'm gonna give the floor back to you guys while I think about that. Man, I forgot. You said something about Bud yesterday, and I think it was about his persona that I wanted to speak on too, because I think it's very pertinent to the situation right now. But I can't remember it. I just had it. I just had it and lost it just like that. Dang. What was that for Bud?
You ain't, you saw who I was picking for Bud to fight or something?
No, 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 no. It's about the way Bud carry himself. She said something yesterday about how
He
Bud carries
sounds
himself.
like a diva, like a Napoleon complex. Like he carries himself like the world owes him something.
Yeah,
Like
it was something along those lines where it almost lends itself to the fact that, and the way he's doing things, all it does is just bring attention onto how you know how his movements.
how
I forgot
selfish
what
he
she's.
is. How he's selfish.
Yeah, well, he definitely everything has to fall on him. He wants everything to be about him. Undoubtedly, and he is
Yeah,
a fighter. Like I want it to be known that he's a great fighter. As a person, he does some suspect things. He does some really suspect things, but as a fighter in the ring, he's pretty dang amazing. And like,
that's true. Hold
but
on one second. That's true. That whole boy Crawford only has Spence. Canelo said he don't want him. Jamel ain't gonna negotiate with him. Like Spence is all he has. But Spence has options. He got Virgil Ortiz. He got Castano, Fedora, Tim Zoo.
yo, up, you sleepy, bro? Go on and cut this bad boy.
Charles Young, salute, King. Now you know I be on my pain meds and everything too though.
Oh, okay.
And them shit started hitting
Snoopy
that.
Mac, what's good with you? Salute, fam. Dang, she said something that captured him in a nutshell. I gotta remember it because I was just about to say it. Then I lost my train of thought thinking about something else. But yeah, I honestly, he doesn't have very many options. I mean, he's not that big of a draw. He thinks he's a draw because he actually beat
I fight.
Spence.
Yeah, see, and that's what gets to him right there, where he can't understand. Like, Shawad, drop the link, please, Princess. See, he felt like that he's supposed to automatically become number one because he beat Spence. It don't work that way, because just because you put a candy coat on top of shit don't mean that it's good for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like chocolate covered ants and raisins. Just because it's chocolate covered don't mean the inside ain't shit. And just because you beat Earl Spence, it doesn't make you a draw because you're outside the ring antics. People don't like. They question you. You double talk. You don't keep it 100. You don't keep the truth.
Yeah,
And see, that's the problem right there. People don't want nobody. Yeah, it's fun for controversy, but you can say what you want to say about Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd fought all champions.
he
Floyd made
did.
all the big fights. And
He,
Floyd fought outside his weight class. Like his walk around weight was in the 140s. And he's beating people 150 something. That's what makes him the greatest, because while everybody else is punching down, Floyd was punching up. Like he's jumping up weight classes, fighting people that's much bigger and stronger than him. And that's why I told you boxing is 80% mental and 40% physical. So what? What you should say?
Nah, that was background noise. Sorry about that, my man.
Oh, there she go. All right, you here too, sit.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought she about to cook.
Oh no, I was just trying to hop back on. I had to hop off real quick. I thought somebody else was on here.
Yeah, Thomas Hill was up here. He just fell off.
Oh, okay. Um, I don't know, man. I'm just ready to see the fights. I'm ready to see the Charlo fight. I'm ready to see Shakur finally fight, and I'm ready to see the rematch. So the rematch for, I mean, the fight for Devin and the rematch for Spence are both on the same day.
How you figure that?
I heard the Spence rematch was December 9th, and then I'm hearing that the Devin fight is December 9th.
I ain't know they had the date for the rematch yet.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just a rumor. You never know.
Yeah. Are you back, Thomas Hill?
You sound like you about to lay it down.
Oh, no, that's my pain medicine kicking in. Well, I'm gonna rock another 14 more minutes, and then we can go to Just Do. But you know, I take pain medicine for my wounds. Thomas Hill, we can't hear you, man. I think you're on mute.
I'm sorry. You said what now?
Oh no, I was saying we couldn't hear you. You was on mute or something.
Oh yeah, nah, I was on mute. My bad. Hey, 2 cents. What did you say about? You said something about Bud. I think it was on Pull's show, but you had said something about his characteristic. I forgot, but it was spot on, and I forgot what it was. And I was about to make mention of what you said and add on to it, but I sure can't remember right now.
What about everybody saying how great he is, but publicly
That's what it
he,
was.
he doesn't
That's
display that, and that's weird.
No, you said that, but in a different way in the ring. See, you had just mentioned the fact that Spence had looked amazing, and he seemed to be able to have all the adjustments and everything, but he didn't need to make adjustments in that fight. Like he literally could stand right there because it was coming slow. It wasn't coming with any pop, and he can go on and throw the punch as it was coming to him. And she was like, "Yo, I don't know why we giving Bud all the
Oh,
you
I
know."
was saying we didn't see greatness out of Bud that fight. Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
about?
what she was.
Like we
Yeah,
didn't
that's what she
we
was
didn't
saying.
see greatness from Bud that fight. Like he looked good and he performed well, but
Yeah,
can
he
you
did.
say that's greatness? Like what did he overcome in that fight? And everybody
And
want to make it seem like, oh, it's because he made it that look that easy. That's what make it great. Like, come on, y'all.
and they used that to juxtapose it with the fact that Spence is one dimensional. He's a flat-footed fighter who's slow and ain't got no pop. And all his other fights speak against that vehemently. And yet all Crawford's fights against people who are C-level fighters or at best low B-level fighters
What happened, Coach Amber?
don't
Coach,
don't even
hold on
see.
one second, Thomas. Coach Amber, you can hop back up here. I thought you was up here, and she fell off. Go ahead,
She
Thomas.
was up here. She was up here. The track record don't say. You can't tell me that Spence is not better than Egis Kavalauskas. Yeah, Egis Kavalauskas had Crawford in a dog fight. He ain't better than one-legged Benavides, who was going blow for blow, toe to toe for most of the fight. He ain't better
Toe to
than David
toe.
Went
Postal,
12 rounds with him. He went 12
but
rounds with him.
with a bad leg.
Make that man lift up off in the third round. He lifted that man up off the canvas twice with a body shot.
You sounding
David Postal
you can't hear you you sounding like
sound like that
static.
medication that hit that static, that frequency. But I'm gonna go on mute again. But that's all I want to say. And
Salute, Coach
I just
Amber.
want to
I'm
say
about
like he didn't
to,
really
y'all
have
I'm
go
to make
ahead,
glad
because I'm
Keith
about to step
Thurman
out.
came out and said I'm glad Keith Thurman came out and said what he said though about how Crawford did not beat a champion that night, and if he was in the ring that night, he would have beat Errol Spence. Like, I don't know why these people not acknowledging that. You've had Thurman come out and say he didn't look the same, and you had Ugas come out and say he didn't look the same. Like, these people not being honest. Like, let's just be honest. And everybody's like, well, the skill gap is so great. What can Errol Spence possibly do that's gonna make it better in the rematch? Well, he can come in on balance. He can
about
come
now?
in
Can
with
you
some
hear me now?
power. Yeah, we can hear you.
Then why didn't
Floor
Keith
is yours,
Thurman fight
coach.
him?
Oh, I
If
don't know
Earl
why
was
Keith
so
Thurman.
easy, why didn't Keith Thurman fight him? Why
Well,
didn't
he was saying that night that he fought Bud, he could have beat him.
Yeah, how
With
people are spinning the narrative that it's
how
one
people was trying
dimensional.
not to say how Earl was drained or say something was wrong with Earl. I mean, I'm not sure what your opinion is about it, but that was the point that he was making, that basically anybody in the ring with Earl could have beat him that night with the way he was looking.
But
Yeah.
that was Keith Thurman's opinion, right? Keith Thurman
In
said
the
Oh no,
what?
that
we're not
Earl was
saying
so easy to beat, then why didn't he fight him?
no, he didn't want no parts of him. There was a chance that it would mess up his bag. We already know what the deal was, and now he looks vulnerable because he looked bad in the ring against Bud. But we know that that wasn't the right Spence in the ring. I mean, I saw that going out the fight. Matter of fact, when they were in the back watching him before he came out, he looked like he just wasn't there. So
When he
like,
did that interview and he was incoherent, you couldn't understand anything he
I
said.
knew I knew it was a problem when, all this time Earl was talking about how he wanted to be the first welterweight undisputed. And then 3 days before the fight, he told Brian Cuss, I didn't say that. I just wanted to get the money. Then I knew he wasn't thinking about a legacy or the win. He was thinking about money at the time. And then it goes to show that, okay, it was his ribs. They say it was his ribs so he couldn't trade, but it goes to show because he's talking about the money now. He ain't thinking about the fame no more, so he must have knew he couldn't win that fight.
Right. Yeah, he knew. He knew.
yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that
He
we
passed
didn't
up on
know.
that Pacquiao payday. He went passing up
All
on
right, now I can hear you.
I said he said he passed up on that Pacquiao payday. Earl said he not passing up on nobody marquee names no more. No more. He was mad
But
as
yeah,
hell
coach,
after that fight.
we're gonna let you cook. You came on and
The
Upper
only
ain't gonna be here too
marquee
much.
payday that Earl passed up on was what, Thurman? And I didn't agree with that either. But other than that,
The
he agreed to
Pacquiao
Pacquiao.
fight.
Like, he agreed to everybody. Danny Garcia, like, he
But he
agreed
didn't
to
get to fight
everybody.
Pacquiao because of the eye injury.
So Ugas had to
Is
fight
that his fault?
Pacquiao.
No, we
No,
saying
No, we
Ugas
just saying that
fought.
would have been his biggest payday, but he missed it, so he don't want to miss another big
that's
payday.
all we were saying.
That's
We
why we
was
said
trying
he
not to
got
miss
rid
out
of
on any more
Crawford. Like
paydays.
took all that, it took everything from it because without him, he would have got that big 30. We can say what we got to say about the fight. We can say Crawford got more than he deserved, but Earl still. It doesn't take away the fact that Earl got over $35 million for that fight.
Oh, no doubt, no
His
doubt.
biggest paycheck before that was 17 million with Mikey, so he doubled that. So even though Earl gave up more than he should have, they both got their biggest payday. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he just
Like,
compromised a whole lot to make that fight. That's
yeah,
unfortunate.
because the man was gonna walk away, and like,
So where do we land on 147 or 154?
but
Well,
they
Bud
said
said,
that 147, so it ain't nowhere to land. It's
yeah,
there.
he said it's either 147 or no fight at all. That's what
But like
Bud
I
said.
said, that makes it that much sweeter because, like I said, a year and a half ago, Earl destroyed Ugas at 147. And like I
Earl should
said,
have walked away.
Earl,
He was too long at that weight. He should have walked away and and did it at 154. Bud's not gonna give him at 154, and they're gonna shit on him regardless, like they always have.
well, I feel like with Earl, while you out right now, I would start getting my shit ready for that 147 because I feel like Blu-ray even said he can get him down there. And see, like I said, you can't use a football and basketball strength and conditioning coach. It's two different sports. And I feel like in all honesty, I feel like nobody's had Earl tight the way Blue had him. And you let him go ahead and get you back right and get your sparring in. because they say he wasn't able to spar because of his rib injury. So when you go all these months without riding, your spring gonna be messed up. Your energy's off.
But how
Yeah.
long ago? Okay, they say the rib injury take 6 weeks to heal. How long ago was that accident?
It was after the Frank Martin fight, remember?
The rib injury was done in sparring.
Yeah, it was after Frank Martin.
Yeah.
So
Coach Amber got like inside track to this whole deal.
So the
nah,
rib injury was in sparring. So, coach, do you think that? Because this is my thing with the injury. Will he be healed enough to properly prepare for the fight? Maybe he'll be healed by the fight, but
No,
is he gonna be healed enough to properly prepare for the fight?
there is nothing you can do for a rib injury. Like a rib crack, a broken rib. There's nothing the doctor can do for you except give you pills for the pain.
but guess what, Coach
I've
Amber?
had fighters with broken ribs. Like it's kind of like cartilage, like your nose.
It's been
It
over
heals
seven,
on its own.
it's been over 7 weeks though. It should be close to healing there.
Yeah, it heals on its own.
Yeah,
And
but
you
see,
got to
that's
take
what I'm
care of
saying.
it and make sure you lay a certain way. Like, yeah, it's like a broken nose. How do you cure a broken nose? You can't. It's the cartilage. I mean, yeah, maybe you can put it back in place, but there's literally nothing you can do. It's not a real bone. It's cartilage.
It's just my cousin. Hold up, hold up. You know, like that nosebleed keep coming. But you know, that rib injury, it's been over 7 weeks now. It's been a while. So that rib should be straight by now. And see, people gotta realize they gotta announce the fight date. Then you still have a trade. You still got a training camp after they announce the date. So you shouldn't worry
But it
about.
has to be in December, right? Because of the contract. That's my understanding.
They have to have a contract by December. I thought.
Well, we don't know anything about the contract. I mean, it might be in the contract in December, but um, I can't think that the rematch clause. Okay, that's Mando, but unforeseeable circumstances. If because I mean, somebody was supposed to get an injury in this fight, right? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can't just lock down a date like, oh, this is when it was supposed to be. Like, what if somebody gets hurt, which somebody did?
Yep.
Right, right.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a little wiggle room in there.
Well, that will make sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes perfectly good sense. Yeah. What happened?
It's
Who's
my
you?
first time on StreamYard. Sorry, man.
I know that's always that you cook, Coach Amber. You doing a great job. As always.
I think there's a reason that he's trying to tie him down at 147. I mean, that man told us a long time ago in Oklahoma that I'm gonna beat you, and they gonna say you weight drain, and that was 5 years ago. And you know what? The man was right.
Well,
Yeah.
that was what he was planning to do.
Well, yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Because I
Yeah,
mean,
that was
how
the
could
whole
you say that
chessboard.
5 years ago? So, yeah, so you're gonna wait till they say gonna say that? Like, well, I don't understand why you would even
Yes,
say that.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I think it's crazy that you're willing to fight Charlo at 154, and I think it's crazy that you're willing to fight Cinnamon at
Well, shit.
168. But Earl, it's a problem. Just food for thought. And honestly, this is our fault because we should have took the man at his word.
Exactly.
We
See, that's
expected him
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
honest.
We expected him to change his colors when he told us who he was in the beginning.
Yeah, we expected a zebra to change his colors, and they won't.
Nope.
Well, we didn't know. We didn't
No,
know
we
back
knew.
then.
We knew. No, we knew. When
We
he
have
said he
been
signed
bamboozled.
everything. When he said he signed everything, we knew then. We knew
Oh, I
then
knew
when
for
he
sure
signed
then.
everything. Yeah. And see, that's what
I
makes
knew
you
when he
look good.
re-signed the Top Rank. That's when I knew for sure, like, oh, you not who you saying you are, bro.
I knew when he said we don't know Bob Arum's heart. When he said that bullshit right there, when he said we don't know Bob Arum's heart, oh no. That's how he's supposed to be suing Bob Arum.
Well, hell, maybe him and Bob Arum have the same damn heart.
Yep,
Two
Absolutely.
hearts beat as one, right?
yep. But I tell you like this. I love the fact that it's back at 147 because it's making Earl have to pull greatness out. See, Earl can't half step at all. He has to do everything perfectly.
I don't want to see Earl at 147.
I know, but this right here will humble Crawford more than anything right here. And like I said, I seen Earl a year and a half ago put on a amazing performance against Ugas. And I feel like that Earl that fought Ugas can stop Terrence Crawford. That Earl stops Crawford. And I feel like Earl's gonna have to dig in deep. And Earl went up against a Ferrari. He went against Concrete. He went against Danny Garcia, eye injury, and he persevered over all that. So I know that man has a mind and a will of his own. And people don't realize the power of the mind is a strong, strong thing. And that's why I say like this. Look, Earl get his mind focused, Blu-ray get his body right, and when he comes in and he does what he has to do, then there's gonna be a problem, and then Crawford fans are gonna have the worst day of their life. They is because he stacked the deck of cards and still lost. How you set the deck and you dealt the Boston to the other side? That's what's gonna happen. He gonna deal the Boston to the opponents. 13 books of spades. You know, dealt it out.
Well, we shall see. We have an on just.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and give your last thought.
I ain't really got no last thoughts. I guess I'll holler at y'all tomorrow and when we hop up here. Hey, y'all make
All
sure y'all
right.
go check out my channel. Let me drop my link in the chat real quick.
Okay. And peace and blessing to everybody that done came over here. Now we about to go see my guy Just Do. Everybody go check out Just Do TV and Just Do Boxing. It's your boy Upper Echelon. Peace and blessings to everybody and I'm out.
Hey, turn that shit up, Mike.
Peace and blessings to all y'all. Go check out Just Do after this. Thank you.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Tryna catch me a op, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I.
What questions you have, Shua? My bad, princess. What questions you have, Shua? Big shot. Answer Shua question before we go. Shua, which questions you have? Well, I'll let the flow play until Shua put it up there.
Blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave him holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-pound rifle. A in the army, though. Drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. Smoke. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me sucking monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga leaving nigga They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me sunning monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leaving nigga bleeding.
All right, that's it. Peace and blessings.